The number of cantrips that will be available to you is wholly dependent on your class, really. I've got some mods installed, so I've got Bard, Paladin and Monk here, but I'm going to ignore those. So the main contenders here are Sorcerer and Wizard. Sorcerers do get to know more cantrips, and we'll come to race later. Wizards know fewer cantrips at level 1. However, Wizards, as we all know, have the ability to write spells into their spellbook. So when we pick our cantrips for a Wizard, you want to pick spells that don't currently have spell scrolls in the game. In Baldur's Gate 3, as far as I'm aware, there are no Acid Splash, Friends, or Poison Spray. Also, what you want to do when you're picking your cantrips is think about your race. I've picked an Elf because Elves get a free cantrip at level 1. You get to choose one of the Wizard cantrips. I'm just sticking with Minor Illusion. You could pick a Tiefling because they get either Thaumaturgy or Mage Hand. Drows will get Dancing Lights. Githyanki get Mage Hand also, although it doesn't say it here. And that's about it. But I'm just going to go with High Elf because they get this extra Intelligence and Dexterity, which are pretty good stats to have. So at level 1, we start with 4 cantrips, which isn't really that many. And so I'm going to go through the game and basically pick up a load of scrolls and make a certain decision at level 4. And I'll show you just how many cantrips I managed to pick up along the way. So here's my Wizard Cantavrip. She's just waking up from being knocked down, and I'm going to show you where the first, there's an autosave, where the first cantrip scroll can be found. Not the first scroll in the game, mind you, there is one I'm walking past, but the first cantrip scroll can be found through this first door, and on, I think it's this second imp here. Oh no, maybe it's this third imp here. There we are. Firebolt, Scroll of Firebolt. I'm not going to show you the locations of all the scrolls because I'm going to be trying to get them from traders, because you can just get them earlier from traders. You just long rest and you get a new selection. I'm going to go back and find the Mage Armor scroll before showing you just how many cantrips I can get. So at level 4, Wizards get to pick one more cantrip anyway. I'm going to go for Blade Ward because this isn't one I'm going to be able to use an item or a spell scroll for. Then for our feat, we should pick Magic Initiate and almost anyone that you want to. I'm pretty much going to be picking up all the rest of these apart from True Strike, so I'm not going to pick Magic Initiate Wizard. Let's have a quick look at these. Magic Initiate Cleric. Well, I can get guidance from a necklace. Perhaps I should take this anyway, so I have another cantrip. Right, and then let's take Thaumaturgy because I don't have Thaumaturgy. For spells, I could pick almost anything here. Could go for Healing Word. It's a good one to have as a backup. To get the necklace that gives Dancing Lights, we need to save Arabella from Korga. I'm going with a nature check. Gonna have to use some inspiration here. My only roll for inspiration. So we get a second chance at either Intimidation or Persuasion. And we're just going to be getting guidance on this. Hey, there we are. Then come and speak to Arabella's parents and they will give you a necklace. So here is the Cherished Locket, which gives the Dancing Lights cantrip. So I've here picked up scrolls of Firebolt, Resistance, Rare Frost, Shock and Grasp, and Chill Touch, which have come from various enemies, their dead bodies, crates, and traders. So we just right click, learn spell. It's a bit cheeky being able to learn Resistance because it's not usually on the wizard spell list, but here we are. Now if I go to the wizard tab, in fact no, if I come to this screen, we can count all of the cantrips. We're still missing one, I'll get to that in a second. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13 cantrips. And I have gone and found Guiding Light from the Underdark. If you don't know where to find this, I put this in my previous video about getting high attack rolls. I don't feel the need to put it in again in this video. So here we have it. We have got 14 different cantrips. Almost all of them on the wizard spell list. Thaumaturgy, Guidance, and Resistance aren't. However, we've pretty much got most of the cantrips available to a wizard. You might ask, what's the point of this? There isn't much point apart from just to show you what we can do, like what the possibilities are. And also it does provide a great deal of versatility. So outside of combat, we have got Guidance and Resistance. Well, there are a few rolls outside of combat for Resistance, but we've got it. And in combat, we've got all of the possible damaging cantrips that we could want. We've also got Sources of Light to help out those who can't see in the dark. And we've got Minor Illusion to help turn NPCs outside of combat in combat and generally control the area. I do also want to point out you can get a Guidance necklace up here, a silver pendant. But since I already picked it up, it allowed me to have Dancing Lights instead. So here's just a potential use for a couple of cantrips. We can stick up Minor Illusion, which then groups them all together, and we've got Acid Splash. They're not quite as close together as I want them to be, but we can have a go at a couple of them. And now the fight starts. And the good thing about having all of the cantrips, let's just skip a turn, is that a couple of these guys are vulnerable to fire, but Cantrip will have some fire damage ready at a minimum with a cantrip. And she might have to move to be able to not have disadvantage. I should try and hit that one. However, I could have chosen Rare Frost. Chill Touch would be good here because it stops the woodwords from regenerating actually. Shocking Grasp if I wanted to not get any opportunity attacks from the Ancient Mud method. I probably wouldn't use half of the cantrips here probably. Like I guess I wouldn't use Resistance, Guidance, Thaumaturgy, Blade Ward here. I won't need to use any of the light cantrips, but the point is this wizard is very versatile. She will be able to have something ready for any situation. And there's no real downside to doing all of this either, since all that is mostly used is money. If you didn't want to pick up like a couple of cleric cantrips, that's perfectly fine. You're only missing 2. And you can get the guidance necklace anyway, since you've already got 1 light cantrip from the ring. So let me know what you think about the number of cantrips that are available for a wizard to learn. No other class can learn this many, since no other class can learn spells from scrolls. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.